I hope you've been following this playlist around outcome management basics, and we've now reached the final chapter, actually, of the entire Accelerate Impact and the Outcome Management Trail. And this one should be easy until I actually read through it. It's a lot more complicated. First, creating an impact strategy, and then we're going to talk about how to visualize the impact strategy. And looking at this relationship diagram, the impact strategy sits here, and you can see that it's recursive, so we can have parent and child impact strategies. And then we have an assignment which connects us to an outcome. And again, because this gets a little bit more complicated than I can handle, let alone trying to look at it in this context and to follow what the outcome management objects are all about, I've reverted to this model. And so the last one we did was talking about indicator results, which are part of period, which relate up to indicator assignments based on a definition and connected to a program or outcome. And now we're doing connecting the outcomes to impact strategies at the organizational or program level. And we're going to do that using a junction object called an impact strategy assignment object. So returning to our instructions, they provide a good set of text here, which, and you can see I highlighted the logic word because I was interested in thinking about the difference between a theory of change and a logic model. And I hope it's clear to you because it's not always clear to me. So we're going to create an impact strategy and follow these instructions. So the trailhead suggests selecting impact strategies. And we're going to be looking at all impact strategies. And we have an existing one. This is a logic model type focused on nutrition, education, impact strategy. So we're going to build out a new one. We're going to call this one End Hunger. And we have logic model theory of change, external requirement, which means a funder, or part of our strategic plan. Again, interesting choices, and I look forward to finding examples of how people use those. They're suggesting we call this one a theory of change. We're going to mark it active. And looking at level, we have organizational, departmental, program. So organization is the umbrella, so all the programs would fall under the organization. Departments is an interesting word. That could be several programs clustered in a department, or a program could have several departments. So I'm not sure how we'd actually build out that hierarchy, but we're going to leave it as organizational. They don't mention parent impact strategy, but End Hunger feels pretty much like a parent strategy to me. Then we're going to add in a description, which is efforts to end hunger. And we're going to save that. So the next step is to connect an impact strategy to an outcome, and let's follow these steps. We're in the related section. This would be the details. We're going to go related. And for our impact strategy assignment, we're clicking new. And remember, this was just a junction object between increase high food security and ending hunger. And we're going to save it. So the next step is to view your impact strategy. And so we need to work with our admin to set up an ARC, an Actionable Relationship Center. And this is what we're going to be looking for. And it says, see the optional outcome management customizations to help to add it to the impact strategy page layout. It's already added in the trial org you signed up for. Now, I found that wasn't the case. So clicking back to our friend optional outcome management customizations, we're going to go to this first one, which is visualization. And it says to see it, add the ARC to your impact strategies page layout. And it provides the instructions to go out to the Actionable Relationship Center and select the Impact Strategy Relationships template and save the graph. So to get to the ARC settings, we have to click out to the setup. Type Actionable Relationship Center. You can't just type ARC. And then you can see I've added this impact strategy because it wasn't there. So let me show you how to add one. So we can look at our default templates and we can scroll down. Note there's a care plan, goals, and benefits, which we could also take a look at. We're going to look at impact strategy relationships. We're going to create that. And the first thing it says is, what label do you want to use? We've got impact strategy here. So I'm just going to write impact strategy test. And let's call this test 2 just in case. I forget exactly what. And you can see if you click here, it'll actually tell you what the object is that's being used. We can add additional features here if we needed to. But we're not going to do that here. We're going to throw that one away. I'm going to confirm it. We can show that we're looking at impact strategy to outcomes. Go many to many because impact strategies can have multiple outcomes and outcomes can have multiple impact strategies. An indicator assignment we know is one to many, meaning one outcome can have many indicator assignments. And that same way, outcome activity is a one to many. And we can see that here because outcome activities is master detail to outcomes. Indicator assignment is not master detail, but it is linked as a lookup from indicator assignments to outcomes. So at this point, we can just save it. We know it's impact strategy. We can go back to the properties if we need to, but we're okay. So we're going to save it. We're going to return to impact strategy because the arc is going to live on the impact strategy page. So we're going to edit the page. We could add a relationship tab just because I'm feeling lazy. I'm going to just do it as a component here. It's going to say, oh, it's invalid. You say, okay, well, we're going to call it something. So we're going to call it test, and I guess we're going to call it test 4. I'm not exactly sure how far we are in this. It's going to say we now have 2. We could do a test arc. We just built impact strategy 2, so let's use that one. So we're going to click that, and we now have something there. Now let's just say because we're seeing it's a little bit compressed, what if we move it here and we let it be bigger because we're going to need more space. So let's save it. And returning back, able to see that what we have is a relationship here. And this is just an introduction. I hope you kind of see how this would work. We could clearly do linking and do all kinds of interesting things. I've also done a playlist on how to create an outcome harvesting object. So I'll put that in the link as well because it's worth understanding these various approaches to measuring outcomes. Thanks for your time, and now we can actually dig into some of these other topics like dynamic assessments.